Hey there, we're here with Hannah Valentine today.
Hello, everyone.
An amazing insurance agent with Beach Insurance. And we're going to talk about some changes to the insurance industry, getting insurance, and things you need to know when buying a home. So thank you so much for having us here
Of course,
today.
yep, let's meet us and share what's going on in the industry. It is a very wonky time, is what I like to tell everyone, because it has not been this hard to get insurance on homeowners in I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and it's never been this difficult. Like, we're in a really rough time. So
Yeah, we're experiencing the same thing on our side. Normally when somebody would buy a house, we would just say, go ahead, shop insurance.
yeah, we can get you a quote in 5 minutes, bind it, and
Yeah.
we're done, easy peasy. But things are really changing. So the number one thing that I'm seeing now is roofs are like a huge concern. So if there is if one of your buyers is purchasing a home that has a roof that's over 15 years of age, get quotes while you're in your due diligence period, because it will really make an impact on, one, can we insure it? Is it insurable? Is the roof in good condition where it's going to pass inspection? And two, is it going to be affordable? Because there's so many carriers now, if the roof is over that age frame, then it's not even eligible for them. So it's becoming to where we have to find a policy where the roof is being excluded. And a lot of times now, like, if it's submitted through your underwriting on the lending side, your lender might not accept that.
Right.
So that's a big concern. And then the other thing I would say would be, making sure that the inspections are being done and there's no hazards. Because the other thing that we're seeing is we're getting a kickback on carriers are requiring inspections to be submitted to get approval before.
So you mean an inspection with the insurance carrier, not just like a home inspection?
So, for example, Progressive is one of them that is now flagging it. So if we submit a quote through for a homeowner's policy, we can get an error message, not an error message, but like a pre-bind approval. And so we have to submit the inspection to underwriting, and then they have to review it and approve it. And that can take 7 to 15 business days to be approved on their side.
Oh, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if it's not acceptable and there's like damage to the roof, like missing shingles, curling shingles, discoloration, then that's going to be a big fat no.
Okay. So that's huge, because it used to be, I used to tell my clients, yeah, just make sure you have insurance at least 1 to 2 weeks prior to closing. Mm-hmm. It's taking longer than 1 to 2 weeks in some instances to even bind coverage.
Yes.
So realistically, we need to be getting insurance quotes either
once the offer is accepted and y'all are like in the due diligence period, they need to start calling around.
Would it be too aggressive to get a quote before they make an offer?
I mean, not necessarily, but I would just, we have a bunch of lenders that do that, and they're like, hey, what's the price range on this? We can do it. But if they're like still in between houses, I would say let's make sure that they're set on a specific one before we start running quotes for like multiple homes for multiple people or for one person.
Right.
It's quick and easy on our side, but in the back of your head, if you're working with someone, I would just be on the lookout, like on the insurance side, how old is the roof? Like, always question your client, or ask the realtor if you're like tied with the realtor, how old is the roof? Because that is like number one question.
That's the big red flag right now.
Yes.
Okay. So at the very least, we need to have an insurance quote and make sure that this property is insurable within the due diligence period.
I would say so, yes.
Okay. Do we think, we have some agents that are making due diligence periods as low as 3 or 5 days.
Okay.
Is that enough time for you?
Yeah, we can definitely run a quote, and if it's flagged, then we can tell you, hey, this account is being flagged. It has to be submitted to underwriting approval.
Okay.
And it will take X amount of days to get approved. But we can, and if that happens, we don't know what the price will be. We can just say, hey, it's being flagged by this specific carrier. But here's another option, worst case scenario.
Got it.
Thing.
So it at least gives us the start to understand, this is going to be easy, or we're going to have to do some more work on it.
Yeah, and so since we're independent, we represent so many different companies. Mm-hmm. We see it across the board with all these different carriers, but like State Farm, for example, like I'm really close with Matt Hodges, and they don't have the same requirements that some of our carriers do. So that's why it's so important in like my industry. Like I'm friends with all the insurance agents around here because we can help each other, like refer each other business. So I know State Farm, they can do it. It's just going to be, if I can't do it, I'm like, call State Farm. Typically they will do it. It might just be more pricey or like than what I can provide. Right. So I think it's just knowing the right people to talk to and communicate with to find the best solution for your client. Yeah. That's awesome. It's part of the reason we start with y'all. Yeah. Because it gives us options. One of the things that we've been seeing is a lot of challenges in homes in coastal areas in getting insurance. Okay. What constitutes a coastal area? So a coastal county is a county that touches coastal waterways. So Chatham County, Bryan County, Effingham is not coastal because it doesn't touch, like the line of the county does not touch coastal waterways. Okay. So it's county based. It's not just distance of the home from. Yeah. Well, and I mean, islands obviously is a whole nother ballpark, but yeah, all of Bryan County is coastal. All of Liberty County is coastal. All of Chatham County is coastal. Okay. So the guidelines are going to be stricter with those, that's our area. So that's why I'm pointing out those three. Yeah. But Effingham is inland, Long County is inland. Okay. Bullock County, Statesboro area. So it's going to be the guidelines for wind and hail are not going to be as strict as it is for our counties, Chatham, Liberty, and Bryan. Okay. So one of the other challenges we've been seeing, as home prices go up, people are looking for homes that are more affordable. And that is leading them to look at mobile homes more than they ever have before. Yeah. So we have 6 different carriers that are like used to be our go-to for mobile homes. And depending on the zip code, most of them won't even write in coastal county. Like it's completely blocked. Like as soon as we type in the address, ineligible, we're not writing. Like it's like we can't even write it. So American oh gosh, what is it? Through basically the assigned risk pool, you can purchase mobile home policies and they can't deny mobile homes. So there's always a market. It's just a way lengthier process. It takes a lot of time and effort. But the pricing is across the board. Mobile homes are just really, really expensive these days. Yeah. If we can write it, we're looking at like the $3,000 range. Right now. At least. I mean, we had one 2 weeks ago that got one estimate for $4,000 and one for $8,000. So and that's what I tell my lenders. I'm like, if y'all are crunching the numbers on your debt to income, like I would like. It's gonna be tough. Well, and that's what the premium is now, right? So, but that premium renews every year. What's gonna happen to that? It's not gonna stay the same. Yeah, I mean, across the board, like right now, like across the board with all of our carriers, we're seeing between a 15 to 20% rate increase. Especially on the auto side, and so each year, like I try to let my clients know, like it's just one of those things, and like in our industry, it has to be expected. These carriers are paying out so much money in claims, like the roofing, like claim payouts in the last few years, like with the the hailstorms and windstorms. Everybody is getting new roofs, and if the carriers are only collecting, let's say 2 years ago, on average, our home premiums in this area is like used to be between $1,000 and $1,500. If you're only paying that much money in as your home insurance premium, and you're getting a $15,000 roof, what do you expect the carriers to do? Right. They have no choice but to raise the rates because they're paying out so much money. So yeah, so we really need to make sure that when we're talking to our clients, we're saying, okay, this is what it is now, but in a year, it's going to be more than that. So you need to make sure that it's affordable for the long term. Yeah. And not just tax or not just insurance, but taxes as well. Right. We need to be looking at the big picture. People are really quick to shop interest rates, and they'll take a look at that, but they're not looking at here's what the taxes are, here's what the insurance is, and here's what the insurance is now, but that's really likely to go up as well. So, but the good thing about like working with someone like us as being independent, we do have a program. So I get an email every single day of our clients that are renewing, and if it goes up a certain percentage, we automatically reshop. So if it's like over 20 to 25% rate increase, we automatically like we do the shopping for you guys.
That's awesome.
So that's one good thing about working with an independent agent, whereas working with an exclusive company, they have no other options.
Their rate is what it is.
And we're always like working with us, we're always on the lookout for what carrier can we add to our book of business to help better assist our clients in our area. So that's really huge for us.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I've noticed is that there are some policies, and this is a lot of times mobile homes, but that are requiring, in order to carry insurance on you, we have to bundle with your auto. And people are going right off the bat, okay, yeah, I'll bundle. But they're not necessarily looking at the auto policies either. And so they might have to bundle, but it might cost them more money on the auto side of it.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing right now is if you guys are in a crunch on the home, like to get your debt to income right, we can play around on the home side. Like I've got a carrier that they have phenomenal home insurance rates, but their auto is just a little tad bit higher than, competitors. So, but it's doable. And if we can lock it in, get y'all closed, and, later in a few months or at the next renewal, then we can reshop it at that time kind of thing.
Okay.
You can just make that.
Okay. I think we've touched on a lot of things right now. Is there anything else that you think is immediate that people need to know about?
I don't think so. I think another thing that would be beneficial for clients is if they are in a required flood zone. We represent multiple private flood markets too. So, but I know with specific lenders, they may not require that. They may require a FEMA policy. So I always try to tell my lenders that I work with, is it eligible for a private market?
Yeah.
Because if it is, then we could typically save money going to a private market versus going through FEMA.
Yeah. So the good thing is up until maybe about a year ago, I don't remember the exact timing, FHA required a FEMA policy, and they've since changed that.
Oh, that's good.
So FHA will allow private flood insurance.
That's so good. That can save hundreds of dollars right there.
Hugely helpful. So, okay. Now the most important thing, what is your contact information so anybody can get in touch with you if they need to get
my cell phone number is 912-433-3051. And my email is hannah@beachinsgroup.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Always.